the Justice Department releasing a heavily redacted version of the affidavit used to justify that stunning FBI raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Lots of pages completely blacked out. You can see it here. It's been reported that even the section explaining the redactions has been blacked out. And let's bring in now former attorney for President Trump and also former mayor of New York, the best mayor ever, and my friend Rudy Giuliani. Rudy, great to have you here. Thank you.
It's great to be with you, Rita.
You know, I have to get your reaction to this affidavit. You've seen it, a lot blacked out, but there are parts. What's your take?
Well, I mean, of course, it's easy to read through. There isn't much to read. It's exactly what I thought. This is a completely illegal warrant for numerous reasons, the least of which is it really isn't a search warrant. This is a general search warrant. Search warrants are supposed to be for specific things, narrow. They were put. The whole reason for them, the history of them, is to do away with the general warrants that the British used to use against the colonists. They would come in and they'd search everything in your house. And so when we did the Fourth Amendment, Madison said, "I want it narrowed." In other words, you've got to come in to get a gun or drugs or electronics, like they came into mind. The affidavit they had for my search warrant, although it discovered nothing illegal, thank God, they sent everything back to me, but at least it was narrowed to electronics. I mean, they took his passport. Everything here should be suppressed. In other words, I actually believe this could never be used in a criminal case. The exclusionary rule, map against Ohio, which is maybe 50 years old or more, would be applied here. This is about as illegal a search as you're going to get. Plus, the judge, as I pointed out before, I think people don't realize the gravity of this, made the return on the warrant 11 days. That's like if you're looking for bubble gum. I mean, a warrant is supposed to be exigent circumstances, emergency. 11 days for an emergency? And then the FBI took 3 days off to execute it, and this is important? Don't we do things that are important fast? Right? Don't we do things that are unimportant slow? So there is nothing legal, and this affidavit in support of it, I don't care what's in the rest of that garbage they have there. The more that's there, the worse it is, and the more general it'll be.
Well, and so, I'm looking through it, by the way, Rudy, here too. I mean, it's like, some of it is interesting reading. The other parts, one thing that I found really stunning too, as I was going through this, Rudy, was there's a part too where they basically say that the documents were thrown in with magazine clippings and also with photos. So it didn't look like he was like hiding this top secret information. It looked like somebody who was maybe just packing up in haste. And that actually, I think, helped the president.
Of course, yeah. And of course, he did the packing. I mean, that's a little stupid.
Right.
Do they really think that he did the packing? Did Obama do the packing?
Right. General Services Administration.
Biden couldn't do the packing. He put them in the wrong box. I mean, so come on. I mean, they're ridiculous. In fact, I think there's. It's clear that he didn't pack. I mean, I've talked to two of his lawyers. And they said they're not even sure how much he's ever even seen. I mean, he doesn't like go down there and look at these things. Or they're as safe there as they would be wherever these guys are going to put them. In fact, the FBI, the last letter they wrote to him, kind of almost blessed it. They said, okay, keep it there, keep them safe, and add this one thing. So the FBI knew it was there. They knew where it was. It hasn't bothered them for a year and a half. They've been doing this negotiating with the archivist, which happens a lot. I mean, Obama's records haven't all been returned yet. He's supposed to be digitizing them. Well, I mean, I digitized my records, and I did it in 2 years. So he's been holding them a long time to digitize them. They're not digitized. So this is ridiculous. This is a political thing completely. It's beyond political. It's Act 4 or 5 of the whole plot they started, when they tried to say that he was in collusion with the Russians.
Well,
Each
and
one
it's
is
the same team, too. It's the same FBI team. I also want to get your take, Rudy, because
that's right.
also
It's
the
same
former
team.
president responded, by the way, and I thought his response was interesting. He said, the affidavit heavily redacted, nothing mentioned on nuclear, as you just talked about, a total public relations subterfuge by the FBI and DOJ, and our close working relationship regarding document turnover. We gave them much. And then he also had sort of his own blacked out version, which was very clever, Rudy, where it showed up, Make America Great Again. What did you take of his response and the fact that in here, there's no big bombshell? It looks like a document dispute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he knew that. He's ready for these things now. I mean, the last time I really thought they had a bomb, was worried about a bombshell was about 3 years ago when I was his lawyer. And every time they'd have a bombshell, it turned out to almost be favorable to us. I mean, this may turn out to be favorable in the long run. When you compare this with the way Democrats are treated, Hillary destroys 33,000 emails and she's running around a free person. She destroyed them. They're not alleging he destroyed anything. There's no allegation he destroyed anything, that anything's missing. If he had them there rather than someplace else, because truly the Presidential Retention Act is confusing. I mean, the positions his lawyers took were all reasonable. And again, the FBI, until a month or a month and a half ago, was satisfied with where it was. They went there, they observed it. They took a few documents with them. We don't know exactly what they were. And then they asked them to put an extra lock on, and then wrote a letter kind of approving it. So all of a sudden, I think what happens is the White House calls and says, we gotta change the political dialogue here. You know, we're getting pounded. I mean, part of it takes the emphasis off the fact that the president hasn't been at work, I don't know, since when?
Yeah.
Does he go to work?
No, it certainly is very interesting, Rudy. And by the way, you know, it's fascinating, Rudy, through all of this, the president is basically saying, no, I don't know anything. And we know that he had to waive, and you and I talked about this, he had to waive executive privilege for this basically to be jump-started, for the National Archives to put it to the FBI. So that is absolutely not correct, what they are saying at the White House, as if, you know, Sergeant Schultz sort of, I don't know anything. That definitely is not the case. Rudy, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank you for
Terrific.
joining us on Saturday Report. Thank you.